So did Sony finally overcome my beloved Nikon 3D tracking or not? Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from Leica Italia, and today we're gonna talk about this famous 3D tracking which I loved back in the days when I started shooting with a digital full frame camera. That was my Nikon D750. I was using it most of the times because basically you were half focusing to acquire the subject, and with this 3D tracking it would stay on that subject. Please remember, the focusing mechanism was still based on contrast, so it's not as reliable as it is right now with phase detect. And then you could reframe and have like the rule of thirds or other rules you wanted to use for your framing. So that was a very good help because it was basically tracking the subject. It was not spot on the iris of the eyes like it is right now with Sony, with Lumix, with Nikon, with Canon. All of them, the technology increased so much that it looks like when I was shooting back then and only 10-15 years passed, it was a different age. But anyway, right now I'm starting using my Sony A7C Mark II, which has phase detect, and they included separated AI chip for tracking. And I have to say, it's good if you use it on the wide area, but then you will have to tell it which person you want to track. And especially for street photography, there are many different subjects in the frame, so you basically spend most of the time switching from eye to eye or from person to person, because the framing, the subject that you have in mind, the camera doesn't know it, so you have to tell it. Or you can use the tracking. Now, if you go down on the tracking, each tracking has also different areas when you can apply it. You can have it tracking wide, tracking in the center, face recognition. So what I'm doing right now is that basically 10 years after I sold my Nikon D750, I can shoot the same way with my A7C Mark II for half the weight, half the size of the camera, and better resolution results.
And here we are having Bandit. He is one of my favorite models when I have to explain and show simple concepts like the one we are talking about with AF tracking. As you can see, once acquired, you can move and reframe in your subject and the camera will keep track of it.
How does it work? Basically, you set up the tracking in the very center and then you point it at the face of the person you want to track, and when you're half pressed, it will keep tracking that person. So you can reframe, same thing as we were doing back in the days, but with current technology, meaning that it is also reliable. You will never miss your shot. It will be spot on the iris. That's no risk. You have the focus on the eyelash or on the ears or on the point of the nose, as it happened many times. And even with the Leica Q2 that was still based on contrast with face recognition, it was not so reliable. And so many times I was doing street photography overnight, like pointing at people seated on a bench, and it would eventually focus on the building in the background. Anyway, this Sony is so reliable, and now with this 3D tracking you can do it and frame as you wish. So basically, technology is a good help here. I don't like to hand over too much to my camera. I'm still shooting manually, but when you're shooting streets, well, auto ISO and 3D tracking are two great tools that help you realize the shots that you have in your mind. So thank you for that. I will keep shooting with this A7C Mark II. I'm still using a 28mm f2 that I close down for street photography because f2 it's wide open, so that's way too much light coming in. But still, 28mm it's quite wide and it's a broader view, and with this 3D tracking it helps a lot. So you can have the main subject tracked, and you only have to take care of the surroundings. So with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye bye.